Hello, hello. This is Zephyra from Swan Goddess Inc. And I know I've had to recently pull some of my videos and reworking things a bit, but the number one video that I have been asked to redo with a quickness is one on emotional vulnerability. So, glasses are coming off, and we're going to have a conversation here about emotional vulnerability and how we are not our parents. So I have been seeing a lot of stuff posted on Facebook, people talking about, don't show your weaknesses, don't show your emotions, because people are going to take advantage of that and they're going to use you. Instinctively, my thought is, how very negative of you. It says a lot about negative expectations there. But it also says a lot how I used to feel the same way, because growing up in an abusive household, I was not raised in a household where there was a lot of love, a lot of nurturing. I was very much raised in a household where you were told everything you couldn't do. There was very little you were allowed to do. And if you showed emotion and you cried, then you were looked at like you were weak. That's not true, people. It's not. To cry is a sign of strength. To cry in front of others, even more so. And if you're a man and you cry in front of others, that is some serious strength there. Because it shows you're not afraid to say, you know what? I have emotions and I'm not afraid to show them. I'm not afraid to say, hey, your words hurt me. You hurt me, or this death in the family hurt me. It's okay to show that, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not weakness. When you cry in front of others, when you show that you are emotionally vulnerable, that is strength, guys. That's strength. And the people around you, if there's people around you that have a problem with that, they are the ones with the problem. Because that means they were also raised to hide their emotions. That means they were also raised in an environment where they weren't loved and nurtured and cared for. Those people probably didn't see very many hugs either. When they cried, they were probably told to suck it up, guy or girl. Suck it up, stop crying, or I'm going to give you a reason to cry. Already got a reason to cry, obviously. Jeez. So what, you're going to hit me and make me cry more? And just now I saw a meme that said that people raised by abusive parents don't stop loving their parents, they stop loving themselves. And that's true on a massive level, guys. Because I didn't love myself. I hated myself growing up because I felt like everything was my fault, because that's the way I was told. Anytime anything went wrong in life, it was my fault. When I was growing up, I was blamed for everything. I was the family fuck up. Still am the family fuck up according to some people, but that's a matter of opinion. On that one, guys, please keep in mind, the ones that mind what you do, the ones that give you shit for showing your emotions, they don't fucking matter. The ones that mind don't matter, and the ones that matter don't mind. The ones that matter, if they see you cry, when they see you cry, when they see you struggling, they're going to come up to you. They are going to wrap you in a hug. They're going to hold your hand, and they're going to tell you it's all right. Everything is just fine. Everything's going to be all right, because everything looks better after a good cry and a good night's sleep, guys. It always looks better. And don't forget to hydrate, for God's sakes. I always tell people whenever they come see me for the first time, you know, they come in, if they sit down on my couch, we always immediately, we give them a roll of toilet paper or a box of tissues, guys and girls. And we're like, you're going to cry, and that's okay. You're going to cry, and we're going to sit here and we will cry right along with you, and we're going to tell you it's all right. We're going to help you get through whatever is bothering you, whatever is troubling you. We are going to welcome you with open arms. We are going to hold you like you have never been held before. And we are going to tell you it's going to be okay. And that it's a rough day, not a rough life. It's a rough day, not a rough life. And if there's still people in your life that are calling you a piece of shit, and they're putting you down for showing your emotions, those people don't need to be in your life, guys. Get them out of there. Kick them out. Set healthy boundaries and say, fuck you, get out of my life. I don't care whether they're your mother, your father, your aunt, your uncle, your brother, your best friend. Because the people that truly care about you are not going to sit here and tell you, oh, if you don't stop crying, I'm going to give you a real reason to cry. You've already done that. Get out. I don't need that. You're disrespecting me. Go away. Because the ones that really care about you guys, they're going to hold you while you cry. They're going to cry with you. When I lost my father and my uncle last year, my ex-husband left me in bed alone to cry by myself, and he went to bed because he was tired. People that claimed to care about me left me alone to cry. And they called me a lot of not so nice things, selfish being one of them. I was not allowed to grieve in my own way. No one was there to hold me, hold my hand, and tell me it was okay. So I'm telling you right now, guys, people do that to you, they are not your friends. They are not your family. The ones that do that to you are the ones that need to leave your life immediately. My son sat up with me. My son cried with me. Because my son knew how I was feeling, because my son loved his grandfather more than anything. And it hurt him losing him. And for me, and he never met his uncle, who died in May. My father died in July, and my uncle died at the end of May. So I lost two people that I cared about, that I loved and respected, very close together. And I didn't have very much emotional support at the time. And I was made to feel weak because I was crying and because my emotions were running high. A person that claimed to be my best friend ended up blocking me because I told her I set a healthy boundary. I said, I can't deal with your drama right now. I'm hurting. I'm grieving. I need support. I don't need you to yell at me. I don't need you to do that to me. I need someone that's going to hold me and tell me it's okay. So I ended up having to be that for myself. I sought care through spirit. I was begging God, please send me someone that cares. You know, I mean, people in my own family were calling me selfish over things that were out of my control. I was told that my feelings didn't matter, and I had no right to grieve. I had no right to cry, and I had no right to speak my mind and say, hey, this isn't right. He was my father. 36 years he was my father. Why are you guys telling me that my feelings on this matter aren't important? And that everyone else's feelings are more important than mine? Don't ever let anyone make you feel bad for showing your emotions, guys. Don't ever let anyone make you feel bad for grieving loss. Don't let anyone tell you you don't have the right to cry. Don't ever let anyone tell you you're weak for crying. Because I guarantee you guys, the people that are telling you that, hurt people tell you that, because those same individuals, you know, were told the same thing. They weren't allowed to grieve when they lost someone. They were told to suck it up and deal with it. Which, guys, honestly, when you think about it, that makes it even worse. Because we become what we are taught. And I know my mom, both of my moms, doing that to me, that tells me a lot about how they were raised as children too. That there wasn't a lot of love. There wasn't a lot of nurturing there. That nobody showed them any consideration at all. Guys, that's emotional abuse on a massive level. We become what we are taught. That's not good. And I swore to myself after I lost both of those individuals, and after all this happened, I said, I am not going to be that parent anymore. I am not my mother. I'm going to be more like my father. My father showed me more love, more caring, more consideration, more sympathy, more empathy than anyone else in my family. My Uncle Ken, same way. He showed me that love. He showed me that compassion. They both taught me that. I got more love and nurturing from the divine masculine in my family than I ever have from another female in my family. And I know for some people it was the reverse. Some people, they got all that love and nurturing from their mothers and from the females in their family than they ever did from their fathers or any other divine masculine around them. Guys, that's sad. We get up every morning. We don't have to be our parents, guys. We do not have to continue that cycle. That is a shitty cycle. That's a generational cycle. That's a karmic cycle. That needs to stop. That needs to stop. I made the decision on the spot to never be like my mother again. To never be like either one of my mothers again. I immediately made the switch. Every single day I got up and I made sure that I said, I am not going to yell at my kids or hit my kids if my life depends on it. I made up my mind. I said, God, I need a better way. I need a better way, a healthier way to raise my kids and show them that it's okay to be emotionally vulnerable, that it's okay to cry. It's okay to come up and hug someone. But first, my children, my youngest is autistic, so it's like, ask first. You know what? You look like you need a hug. May I hug you? Get permission first, guys. Please do. And if you guys have autistic children, teach them the same thing. It's good for setting personal, healthy boundaries. Hey, you look very sad. You're crying. Do you need a hug? Can I hug you? Will you allow me to hug you? Will you allow me to share your pain? Will you allow me to lessen your pain? It's okay to do that, guys. And even if that person says, no, I don't need a hug, I need to be left alone, then at least you tried. Then you send them your love from a distance and you give them the space they need. In my case, I desperately, desperately needed someone to hold me and tell me it was okay. I would have done anything to have a person that I loved to just let me lay my head on their chest while they held me so I could cry, so I could grieve my losses. And guys, I'm here to tell you, and I'm doing it on camera, if you need someone to cry with you because you've got no one else, you reach out. I'll cry with you. I will teach you how to be a survivor. I will help you learn a better way. If you abused your kids while they were growing up and you let them get away with anything, I wasn't a very good parent for a long time because I became what I was taught. I yelled at my kids. I would spank my kids. I did everything that I shouldn't have because that's what I was taught growing up. I was taught you yell at your kids. I was taught you ignore your children. I had energy whiplash so much growing up, it was ridiculous because I never knew what the expectations were because the expectations always changed. Do as I say, not as I do. They would tell me one thing and then they would turn around and do exactly what they taught me not to. And I was like, hey, wait a minute. You just told me not to do that, but you just did it. What the hell is up with that? Oh, do as I say, not as I do. And most of the time I was met with either getting my hair pulled or slapped in the face or something else. Now, don't get me wrong, I forgive my family for what they did. I forgive my mothers. I love my stepfather dearly because he never did any of that shit to me, ever. My stepdad's one of the chillest people you ever meet. And honestly, I don't know how he stayed married to my mother for as long as he has, but I know it's because that man genuinely loves her. He loves her, and as Dan Savage says, price of admission's worth it because he loves my mother. And, like I said, 5 minutes before I started filming this, I saw that children raised by abusive parents never stop loving their parents. They They don't love themselves. They hate themselves. And I did. I hated myself for a long time. And that's why I ended up in 3 abusive marriages, because I went after people that treated me the same fucking way that my family did. You know? Not anymore. No. I love and respect myself now. I have healthy boundaries. I set healthy boundaries, and I'm not afraid to cry in public. If something's bothering me, I don't care. I'll cry. I will straight cry, because I know it's okay. Whether somebody comes up and hugs me or not, I'll go hug a damn tree and cry on the tree. Ground out. When in doubt, ground out. So guys, please, if anyone ever tells you not to cry or to suck it up, why don't you tell them, you know what? Why don't you go suck it up somewhere else, Mr. or Mrs. Negative Nancy? I'm not afraid to cry. I'm right here. I'm strong. I am courageous. I am confident. I don't have a problem crying, because I'm strong. I'm purging. That's what you tell them. I am purging this negative. I am taking the time to grieve. And I apologize if no one ever hugged you, if no one ever taught you that it's okay to love yourself. I'm here to tell you it's okay to love yourself. That's not selfish. We were always taught if you cry, if you are emotionally vulnerable, you grieve in your own way, you're being selfish, that you've always got to think of other people. Fuck that shit, people. Love yourself. You know, whenever you see flies buzzing around you, you know what fly means? First, love yourself. The people that tell you not to do this, those are the people that are jealous. They look at you and they wish that they could do that. They don't know how to do that because they weren't taught how to be emotionally vulnerable. They were raised the same way we were, probably in abusive homes, where they were taught showing your emotions is vulnerable and it's weakness. Fuck you. In my house, that's strength. You need to sit down and cry, you cry. You need to call me and say, I need to cry. I don't need to talk to somebody. I just need somebody to be here on the phone with me while I fucking sob my eyes out. If you need to get on camera with me, let's do it. Just cry. Then afterwards, if you need to talk about it, we talk about it. Don't you let anyone dull your damn shine and tell you it's not okay to be emotionally vulnerable and that it's not okay to cry. Because crying is how we purge, guys. The ones that aren't crying and aren't purging are the ones that it's like a volcano. It's going to ball up in there. It'll be like they're a ticking time bomb. They hold all that shit inside of them. And then one day, finally, they can't take it anymore. And they explode. And they cuss and they scream and they rant and they rave. And they end up saying a lot of shit they don't fucking mean. Because why? They didn't take the time before to cry it out and be emotionally vulnerable and talk about what's bothering them, because they were always told it was weakness. Come to my house and see what happens. We'll sit down on the floor, we'll sit on the bed, we'll sit on the couch, we'll go wherever you need to, and we'll cry it out together, and we will talk it out together. All right? Don't let anybody dull your shine. Enough's enough with this bullshit. And yeah, this bullshit where it's, masculine, men don't cry, women are the ones that are the criers. Fuck you. I have more respect for a man that cries and shows that he's emotionally vulnerable than I do for a man that lets that shit bottle up inside of him and grabs a fucking bottle of booze and handles it that way. You want to grab a bottle of booze? Fine. Grab a bottle of booze, but let's sit down. While you're drinking, let's cry about it. Let's talk about it. That's all right. As long as you get it off your chest, but don't sit there and drink and drink and drink and bottle that shit up inside of you until the point comes where you can't control yourself anymore, and then you turn around and you blow up on the people that you love and you care about. And then all of a sudden, you say a lot of shit you don't fucking mean. And then you leave the person that loves you and the people that love and care about you going, whoa, where the hell did that come from? That's when miscommunication happens. That's when people walk out that door and they leave you. That's when people say, okay, I can't do this. I can't do this. That's when people say they've had enough. I'm not wanted and welcome here. And they hit the road. They're like, obviously, I need to show this person some respect. I have crossed a boundary here. We have crossed a boundary here. This person needs some space. Peace, I'm out. Let me give them some space. It should never come to that, guys. Men and women, because I know some women that'll do the same thing. That passive aggressive shit. They'll bottle everything up and then they'll wait. And then one day, out of the blue, they'll get triggered and then the fight starts. And then they blow up and they hit you with all of this negativity that they have been keeping bottled up for weeks, months, or even years. Some of this shit that doesn't even have anything to do with you. It's from their past, their childhood, their past lives, and they are letting you fucking have it. And you're sitting here like, oh my God. Wow. What do I do? Am I wanted? Am I welcome? Do I just let them blow and go? Do I wait till, do I back off for a few days and wait for, do I wait for them to get home from work? What do I do about this? I don't know. Guys, it's happened to me more than once. I was blown away. I was shocked. I didn't know what to do. I did the only thing I knew how. I was like, I'm going to show this person some respect here and I'm going to leave. I'm going to show them the respect that no one else has shown them. I'm going to respect myself in this situation and say, okay, well, they need a few days to cool off. When they're ready to talk, I will be too, but I'm not going to be here when they get home because they got some shit going on inside of them that they need to work on. I'm going to show myself some respect. I'm going to show them some respect, and I'm going to get the hell out of Dodge until they are ready to talk about this. Guys, it is okay to do that, but for God's sakes, let them know that's what you're doing. Because again, miscommunication can happen there. And then said individual, male or female, whatever, they come home from work, they come home from that walk, and they see you're gone and your stuff is packed up, and then it makes a difficult situation even more difficult, guys. Because then feelings get even more hurt. Because they're like, damn, I thought this person loved me. They said they'd be patient with me. I spoke in anger this morning or last night or this afternoon. I spoke in anger and now this person's gone. Or these people are gone. Or now my wife and my kids are gone. Or my husband, left me. Whatever the case may be. Guys, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Be emotionally vulnerable. Back up your mouths. If you say, hey, if we could fight sometimes, but we'll talk about it afterwards. I've seen too much bad shit happen because people bottled shit up inside. They didn't allow themselves to be emotionally vulnerable. And then everyone got hurt. Wife, the kids, the husband, the friends, everyone in the family got hurt. All because people were afraid to be emotionally vulnerable. Now, Bodacious, I'm saying your name, honey, because I know you reached out to me and said, I have a problem with this. And I'm here to tell you, my friend, fucking proud of you. Because I did not have the courage to make this video until you told me today, Coach, I need this video. I need you to do this video. So thank you for giving me the motivation to do this video. And I fucking hope it helps you and anyone else that watches it, because I feel like everyone on this planet has been put in this situation from time to time and has had to deal with people being passive aggressive or people, being, abused as children and been put in certain circumstances and situations that this stuff has happened to. And it's not good. It's not healthy. It's unhealthy for all parties involved. And if this video can help even one person feel comfortable and confident to show their emotions and open up that throat chakra and say, I'm hurting, and here's why. This bothers me. What you said to me hurt me. And I need to talk about this. Not I want to talk about this. I need to talk about this. Because I need closure on this. I need help overcoming this. Will you help me? Will you stay with me? Will you talk to me? And you know what? My answer will be yes. And the people that care about you, their answer is going to be yes. Because if they truly love you, they will not abandon you. They will not abandon you in your time of need, but they don't know, they can't help you if you don't open up your mouth and let the words come out. If you don't open up your throat chakra and you don't tell them what you need, then people will make assumptions. And you may come home to an empty house. You may come home to an empty house. You may get ghosted, all because one person or someone didn't open up their mouth and say what they needed because they were too afraid to. Because they were raised that if they did open their mouth, they were either going to get hit or yelled at for it. I refuse to allow that person to be me anymore. I would rather open my mouth up and say something than to keep my mouth shut and to ruin a relationship over it. Open up your mouths, ladies and gentlemen. Don't bottle shit up. Say what you need. If you need to go for a fucking walk, if you need to talk about it later, say so. Say, I can't do this right now. I need to go for a walk. I have to go to work. We'll talk about it when I get home. But you've got to open up your mouths, guys, and say what you need. Because if you don't, miscommunications happen, feelings get hurt, relationships get ruined. Okay? I love all of you guys. If anyone right now is needing help, please reach out. I will help anyone that needs it. You can email me at swangoddessinc@gmail.com. Do not let price get in the way of you reaching out. I normally charge $75 an hour. But as many of you know, I will work with you if I am divinely guided. We can always work something out. Don't let price stop you from reaching out to get the help that you need. I love all of you, and thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that it helps. I hope it helps. I love you. Have a great night, and I'll be posting more soon. Bye-bye.